Just out here in my garden today, pruning these beautiful tomatoes. I've got a lot of these. I've made this trellis. I've got about 3 of these trellises here that I made, where the tomatoes actually climb up the string that we have attached here, and they're held on with, let's see here, these little attachments that I bought, and they will climb and climb and climb all the way up this trellis and give me lots of fruit. But one of the things a lot of tomato growers will tell you is you've got to prune them. So you can either grow leaves or you can grow tomatoes. What that means is you have to prune. So you can see a lot of these at the very bottom, especially about the first almost 2 feet up. I'm just kind of pruning off all of the leaves underneath here. And I've been doing that on and off the whole time. So throughout this whole process, there'll be, let's see if we can see it here, these little ones that'll start to grow again, and we just pull them off. So you got to come out here I come out about every week or so and prune them. Well, if you've never grown tomatoes and you've never pruned tomatoes, I would definitely recommend doing it for multiple reasons. 1, you get tons of fruit, and 2, you have a nice metaphor for life. And definitely every time I come out here, I contemplate what it means to prune my life. So about 2 years ago, I quit drinking. So it's something I did for nearly, let's see here, since I was about 15 years old to about 40, so close to 25 years I was drinking, and I quit 2 years ago. And one of the things that I never really could imagine about life was, you know, what would life be like without drinking? And I thought, well, what if I went to a bar with friends? What if I was at a you know, gathering with people who were drinking? I wouldn't know how to have fun. I wouldn't know how to live life. So I know a lot of you that have those kind of thoughts. I know if you have an addiction in any way, you might think, well, how in the world would I ever get out of this? How can I live? How can I even live without these sort of things? It's just, that wouldn't even make sense in my brain. Well, let me tell you, from experience in the last 2 years, life without addiction is incredible. Life without having to have a drink or, you know, marijuana or anything that you have that's holding you down with addiction is a very, very freeing experience. And so I would certainly encourage you to think that if I can do it, I've done it for, I was drinking for 25 years, never believed I could actually not drink or be able to be around people or have fun without it. I can tell you 100% for sure that that's false. It's false. It's a false way of thinking, but the addiction can get into your brain and start to tell you things that aren't real. And yeah, so I just want to let you know that that is something you can definitely overcome. I would say I've overcome it with God. God definitely helped me to understand my worth as a person, as a human being, that I have major worth in the eyes of God, and these things that were holding me back were not producing fruit in my life. And these are all the tomato branches that I cut off. Wow, it's quite a bit, huh? I mean, there's a lot there. You can see, and I've done this for weeks, many weeks where you've seen a lot of these cut off and on the ground. These are, for me, representations of all the things that I had to cut off in my life in order to produce fruit, to really get the things that I want out of the way, all the dross to be cut off in my life, to focus on the things that you really want in life. The things that hold you back are the things that, make you not the person 100% that you could be. And some of these things are tiny, This tiny little branch here, if I cut that off, is going to make this fruit grow much, much bigger. So in this time that we're in right now in life, and in this journey of shaking, and I believe of major pruning for the whole world, I hope that you're able to understand that actually pruning is not a bad thing. Pruning is a good thing. So I've learned to embrace the pruning. I've learned to embrace the thing, to realize that there are things in my life that have to go. Things that I may even like, things that I may enjoy. But if they're standing in the way of the things that are going to actually bring me even more joy, even more, freedom in my mind, I'm willing to let go of all things that could hold me back. Is it hard? Sure, it's hard. It's always hard. But knowing on the other side that you're going to produce lots and lots of fruit if that happens, and not just leaves. And I can tell you from experience that that's the truth. So hopefully this maybe brought some insight to you. If not, hey, at the very least, plant some tomatoes, start pruning, and I think that you'll definitely learn something. I hope you have a great day.